Russia has suffered the greatest artillery losses in a single day since the start of the Ukraine war, with 66 systems destroyed. Along with over 1,000 personnel and nearly 80 vehicles, Ukraine's military said in an update on Wednesday. Russian artillery losses, as reported by Kyiv, have in recent weeks remained at the highest levels since the war began, with Ukraine, independent analysts, and Russia itself admitting to serious problems. It is impossible to gain an accurate picture of the true scale of Russian losses. However, Western experts and governments broadly agree that more than 300,000 of Moscow's troops had been killed or injured by the final months of 2023. This number will have risen in the grueling weeks of war since the start of 2024. Russia does not publish a tally of its own losses, and does not typically respond to Ukraine's figures. Kyiv's estimates, however, do offer insight into the impact wrought by nearly 2 years of grinding warfare that has had a constant emphasis on artillery. The Ukrainian military said on Wednesday that Russia has lost a total of 9,566 artillery systems since the invasion. Russian artillery stockpiles are totally depleted, Ivan Stupak, a former officer in Ukraine's security service, who now advises Ukrainian lawmakers, told Newsweek in November 2023. As Ukrainian fighters battled to get their ultimately slow counteroffensive off the ground in summer and fall 2023, both militaries were locked in an attritional conflict where "artillery is king," Frederick Mertens, an analyst with the Hague Center for Strategic Studies, told Newsweek in late September. Ukraine has also suffered large-scale artillery losses. Moscow said on Tuesday that Kyiv has lost 8,021 field artillery and mortar guns since February 2022. It is not possible to verify this figure. In late January, British Armed Forces Minister James Heappey told UK lawmakers that London believed Russia had lost around 1,400 artillery pieces in the 2 years of war. "We estimate that approximately 350,000 Russian military personnel have been killed or wounded since the start of the conflict," he added. "It is very difficult to determine casualties in an ongoing conflict, since both sides will try to keep the data secret and inflate the number of adversary casualties," Marina Miron, a postdoctoral researcher in the Department of War Studies at King's College London, UK, told Newsweek in May 2023. Ukraine's defense minister Rustem Umerov told countries gathered in support of Ukrainian military efforts in January that Russia loses an average of 400 soldiers in exchange for 1 square kilometer, 0.4 square mile of land, along the front lines. Casualties have soared since Russia launched its assault on the Donetsk town of Avdiivka, northwest of the regional capital, Donetsk City, in early October. Avdiivka has been dubbed a meat grinder, a label referring to long periods of bitter fighting with heavy casualty counts. Russian forces are advancing in their push for Avdiivka, according to the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, whose latest maps show the state of play along the front line, including Ukrainian gains further south. The independent Washington, D.C. think tank said on Monday that, amid continued positional fighting in the Donetsk region, Kremlin-friendly mill bloggers said Russian troops had entrenched themselves west of the railway line in the small city. Avdiivka's capture by Moscow is key to Russian aims of controlling the Donbas region. Newsweek emailed the Russian and Ukrainian defense ministries for comment on Tuesday. Kyiv is rushing reinforcements to the embattled fortress city of Avdiivka, with Ukrainian commanders and observers alike, warning of the deteriorating battlefield situation around the frontline settlement. Russian forces have been pressing a grinding offensive against the city for several months, seeking to encircle and capture it despite reportedly massive losses in personnel and equipment. Avdiivka is located on high ground in Donetsk Oblast, on the outskirts of Donetsk city, which since 2014 has been at the heart of the Kremlin's efforts to dismember Ukraine. Avdiivka has been devastated by the Russian offensive, Moscow's forces making slow and costly gains as they did in the Battle of Bakhmut. And as at Bakhmut, Ukraine has committed to defending Avdiivka and inflicting as much damage on the advancing Russian formations as possible. The main goal is to force Russia to pay as much as possible for capturing this location. Ivan Stupak, a former officer in the Security Service of Ukraine, SBU, and now an advisor to the Ukrainian Parliament's National Security, Defense and Intelligence Committee, told Newsweek. But at the same time, we've also got very severe casualties from our soldiers.
Огонь! Выстрел! Выстрел! Один ушел.